Pick the right products for the right retailers. How hard can that be? The Apprentice follows in 5 minutes. First on BBC One, time for the Weatherview with Peter Gibbs.
Hello there. The autumn colours have been giving us a real treat this last week or two, really intensifying at the moment, partly thanks to some fairly warm days that we're still getting. 18.1 degrees reported in County Down this last week, well above the seasonal average. And I'm sure that the field fairs that have been arriving over the last few weeks have been enjoying that warmer weather, and all the berries, the hedgerows seem to be full of them this year. We've had sightings of field fairs all the way from northern Scotland right through to Cornwall, and around now is usually the peak time for sightings, so keep those binoculars handy over the next few days. Having said that, not many sightings so far of silver birch or ash trees having lost all their leaves, partly because there hasn't been much of a strong wind anywhere to get rid of the leaves. But the grass still seems to be growing, although we have had a few reports of that last mowing from one or two parts of the UK. The theme, though, for the next few days, including tomorrow, is for some pretty breezy weather, but some brightness coming through as well. Strongest winds through the rest of tonight will be across the northwest of the UK, gales in places, in fact. Across the west of Scotland, for example, some blustery showers blowing in here as well. But across much of England and Wales, the rain fairly light and patchy by the end of the night, and a fairly mild night, 7 to 9 degrees typically, although holding in double figures those temperatures across southern parts of England. So let's take a closer look then at 8 o'clock in the morning to see what we can expect, and some brightness early on across eastern parts of England and Scotland, but that wind still blowing in will definitely make its presence felt, especially across Scotland. Very blustery winds here, gales in the west, and still blowing some pretty heavy showers in from the Atlantic. Not as many showers around across Northern Ireland for the start of the day, and across northwest England, 1 or 2 blowing in, but some gusty winds tied in with those. But come further south, it's not looking too bad at all. For Wales, for southwest England, the wind's not as strong here, and already by 9 o'clock those temperatures up around 12 or 13 degrees. This is very mild Atlantic air that's coming in on those southwesterly winds. You'll get some sunshine to enjoy, those autumn colours as well across the Midlands and eastern England. No major changes through the day for most of us, although the cloud thickens to bring some rain eventually to Northern Ireland and northwest England later on. Otherwise, hanging on to the best of sunshine in the south and the east, and the highest temperatures. Yes, 16 degrees is possible across the southeast of England, 12 or 13 degrees further north. Now, as we go through Tuesday night, that belt of heavy rain runs in once again across Northern Ireland, Northern England for a time, but then clears through. The wind's beginning to ease as that rain moves on, and again a pretty mild night, exceptionally mild across the south, no lower than 13 or 14 degrees in some places. By Wednesday, the wind should be a bit lighter. I think we'll have a fair bit of cloud around, mind you, a little bit of patchy rain here and there. Still very, very mild across the south, highs of 17 degrees, 12s and 13s further north. But I think that grass could still keep growing for a little while yet. You might need to give the lawnmower one more run out, but we'll be concentrating on those sightings this time next week.
It was Bonfire Night. I had an explosive case to solve. Every year, kids were being hurt by fireworks. I had a lead, but it was safer for Sparky to stay indoors. These kids were smart. A grown-up lit the fireworks and everyone stood well back. I had to hand it to him. Wearing gloves was wise. The only drips here were from the bucket. How come you kids are so clued up?
It's simple. We follow the firework code.
So remember, get wise and...
Don't get hurt.
They're back on BBC One.
Hello, viewers, and welcome to my world of invention.
Join our duo as they uncover the weirdest and wackiest contraptions ever invented.
Oh, fancy that.
Go crackers about inventing.
Very impressive, but not a patch on my total protection hazard-free safety suit.
Wallace and Gromit's World of Invention starts Wednesday at 7:30 on BBC One.
London is one of the most fashionable cities in the world.
Hi there, we're here for one day only, brought London labels to Manchester. Men's here, but men's, no, but hang on, there's more.
We're a clothes retailer, if people can't see them.
Just gonna flip out in a minute.
The Apprentice, Wednesday at 9 on BBC One and catch up on BBC iPlayer.
The toughest tests so far, pastries on the menu in the Great British Bake Off in an hour. The first on BBC One's Sign Zone, a few days too early, but prepare for fireworks.